It's about 11:30 a.m. here in Tucson. I thought I would chat a little bit more about life with this MSA illness um, because I want to share with other travelers and caregivers my experience, and I really hope that this uh, narrative helps others. And I also want to express my appreciation up front for anyone who views this. I appreciate your interest. Thank you for listening to my story. Um, After I got diagnosed, I was still pretty vital. I think I was still driving. No, no, maybe not. This is after I surrendered my driver's license. But I'm still pretty physically fit. Mentally, I'm top notch. I'm ready to rock and roll. And I recall one day that I was in an exam room with my nurse practitioner, who's a wonderful person, and she had introduced me to this platform called Mission MSA. It is a online community of people with MSA. Uh, there's space for providers, doctors, nurses, therapists, family members, caregivers, anyone. And most of all, there's a patient space too. And I kind of inhabited that zone for a while. Well, my nurse practitioner introduced me to this place, and I'm grateful that she did. It was a wonderful experience, and still is. There's a lot of valuable stuff there, and um, it is exactly as the name suggests, the Mission MSA. That's all it is. It's all about MSA. So she introduced me to that, and she actually even helped me recover my login credentials. Very helpful. And like I said, I was pretty fit. And I remember another day that we're in the exam room together, maybe a different one, and we're both pretty giddy almost. She's like, really, really super happy and smiling ear to ear, and I'm, very enthused. And she introduced me to this thing called an ambassadorship, which I had maybe learned about on their website, or maybe she told me about it. I'm not sure. And so I'm very enthused. I want to help people, right? And I still do. And that was the attitude, was kind of like a mind set change when I adopted this attitude of helpfulness, or trying to be helpful and illustrative, and to be a role model, perhaps, for other people on this journey. And I was enthused and ready to go. I was going to go out there and take some MSA name and kick some MSA ass. Well, not long after that, MSA took my name and kicked my ass. And the next 4 to 5 months of my life were a living hell. I had dropped precipitously. It was like falling off a cliff. And when I hit the bottom, um, a lot of things had changed. My physical capabilities, just crashed. My GI system was like, air traffic controllers on strike. You know, uh, just if you can imagine something like that happening to your bowels. And it was either fecal incontinence or intractable constipation, titrating senna up and down, morning and afternoon, 1 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. All of this ridiculous titration just to try to, cure this, or at least help this horrible situation. And so I can't swim, because I can't go up there if I'm fecally incontinent, because if something, untoward happened at the pool, I would be forever banned from going up there again, perhaps, and that would destroy one element that is keeping me alive right now, is the ability to do aqua exercise. And so I had that bout for going on for a while. What a nightmare that was. And along with belly pain is unreal. Miralax, suppository. Oh God, I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. Good grief. And that wasn't all. A lot of leg problems. My arms became very weak. The proximal muscles in my arms, evaporating fast. It's hard to even hold a cell phone in my left hand for very long without resting it on something like I'm doing right now. So I got that issue going on, and my legs are like, it was hard to describe. I told my clinicians, I thought I had bone cancer, my tibia on my left leg. And now I realize that it's not my bone, of course, it's the muscle. And they are doing the tighten up, hypertonia in my left leg. And then something happened to my back. And I just had so much pain in my back, I couldn't stand without crying. Just unreal. I hardly ever felt anything like that before. So, and that wasn't anything that happened, really. It was just kind of just out of the blue. My back decided to, whatever MSA mission it was on, it made my life miserable for quite a while. So, anyway, there's all this stuff going on and increasing disability. But so one day, I'm with my SLP, speech therapist, he's a speech language pathologist, fantastic guy, man. I know him well. Not only my therapist, he's a friend of mine, and he's got a great family. And a great story. And he works with at-risk vet populations, which is something that really tickles my fancy. And so we're sitting in my dining room, and he says, "I've noticed a big change in you over the last month or so. What's going on?" And I told him the exact truth. I said, "I'm in a world of shit." And he says, "How so? Have you hit a wall?" And I said, "Man," I said, "No, I haven't hit a wall. I'm in a tunnel, and it's dark. I don't know where I'm going, and I know that I feel really bad, and things are getting worse fast." That was presaged the falling off a cliff thing that I just talked about. And so what happened was I had emerged from one room into one that was much worse. And so that tunnel, as frightening as it was not near as frightening as the realization of the room that I entered. Much more disability, much more pain. I went from, from world of shit to world of shit squared pretty quickly. And so what terrifies me, I think, now is when is the next tunnel? Is it next month, next week, 6 months from now? And what will be the room that I emerge in from that tunnel? So that's a lot of what's going on in my mind right now. I have decided that I am not going to be such a stranger to my primary clinic. I met a new person up there, and the annual Medicare wellness visits that Medicare subscribers are entitled to, it's kind of like a bada book, bada boom. They draw a little blood and check your kids and whatnot. And so I told them that I did not want that experience this year, that what I do want is a head-to-toe complete physical, everything. And I also wanted to just give a suggestion to other MSA people that I found something that helps with the muscle pain. or the nerve pain or whatever it is. What I thought was a bone cancer for a while. And I kept going, bone cancer, bone cancer, Every time I saw her, she probably thought I was a broken record. Anyway, the supplement that was recommended to me by my primary nurse, very wonderful person, she said, try magnesium glycinate. So I tried it, and I found it helpful. It kind of helps with the muscle pain. It's not the answer for sure, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's easy on your gut, if that's a consideration. And if I understand it correctly, the glycinate is a precursor for the neurotransmitter glycine, which lives in the spinal cord, not in the brain. It's an inhibitory neurotransmitter, so it kind of calms everything down. And I find it helpful for sleep, which is another issue that I have. But I still swim, supervised. There's always someone around, and I won't go in the water alone. Even when I don't really swim, I just kind of sit, in the jacuzzi and do some exercises. But if I stay in there too long, the peripheral dilation really sinks my systolic pressure, sometimes below 70. And that is not compatible with getting out of the pool safely, which I found out to my good fortune, that I set the timer on the wall at 15 minutes, and when that timer expires and the water calms down, from the agitation, that's my signal to get out. Get out of Dodge. But it feels so good to sit there. My back feels better. My legs are, don't feel like I got bone cancer so much. So magnesium glycinate, I take 600 milligrams in the morning, and then a 200 milligram. I take 600 in the evening, and then 200 in the morning, 200 at noon, trying to spread the effect out for this muscle protection or muscle help. Gee, thank you everybody for checking this out. I hope it was helpful. The magnesium glycinate is chelated, and also, I also learned too that blood tests that measure for magnesium are not accurate because most of our magnesium is intracellular, and very, very little of it is in serum. So there is a test. I think it's called magnesium RBC, which measures magnesium within red blood cells. So I've heard that the test is inexpensive, and if you are interested in magnesium supplementation, that might be a test you could recommend to your provider. And so, okay, Bud Krillin, MSA patient, Tucson, Arizona, signing off. Love you guys.